Well, back here at Cincinnati number two tool and cutter grinder, and these machines, I've been around these for years and years and seen them used over the years. And a lot of times they're used just for a specific purpose. They're only doing one thing, maybe grinding a reamer or just something odd. And I've kind of done that myself. I would work in like hydraulics, heavy equipment. Then the economy would change, and farmers and contractors and stuff would lease. And so there'd be less repair. And I could switch over to like power sports, other things. A little machine shop can change directions pretty quick. So I found myself using the machine for specific things for, a couple of years at a time or even longer, following trends, what I could do to make a couple of bucks. But now I want the machine to do just a little bit of everything. And I'm doing some different things with it. I've done before, but a little more in depth. I'm finding that it's just really accurate, surprisingly, cylindrical grinding. I can meet bearing fit specifications with it because the workhead works really good on this and it's accurate. One of the things I wanted to point out about these machines, if you buy one, and this is really important, someone mentioned that they bought one of these machines and it's got damaged tracks that the ball's right in. Let me set this coffee down. I have to have a quick drink here. Now, the table runs on the standard machine here. They have a long travel table, has more balls, but there's 44 of these, 22 on each side, and they're in ladder racks, which is just a strip of brass with holes that hold these and keep them spaced apart. Now the problem is this table, probably with the workhead on here, probably weighs 300 or 400 pounds. It's really quite heavy. And I'll show you something real quick. Set that down here. I'm going to move the table a little bit. Okay, it's sitting on those balls in V and flat hardened strips that are screwed to the cast iron on this machine on the table too. Now watch this, I can lift the table up and it's coming up and down on those balls. I got that heavy workhead over at that end, so it's fairly easy to lift this. Now what happens if you do not remove this table, or you see the little bit of play I got here? You can take hardwood wedges and drive them in here and lift that table off those balls. And if you don't do that, this machine, that table will bounce and damage itself. It'll eat itself alive. I've seen these things transported with the balls, and sometimes they make it and sometimes they don't. At the very least, this thing, put the wedges in and strap it tight. Keep that table from bouncing, okay? And, I see that the famous junk machine dealer has all the stuff, has a whole bunch of these. And I've bought stuff from them before, but they're real bad with shipping unless something improved there. And I don't know. If you're going to buy one of these from them, you're going to want to check it out. And I don't know if they can be trusted if they have people that know what they're doing. But I got a good machine by buying it from a machine tool dealer. And I want to tell you what, I bought this a lot of years ago and I paid $4,500 for it. And That was a lot of money 30 years ago. A lot of money. And I really value this machine, and I take the best care of it I can. So you got to figure that's going to be a problem. You know, if those racks are damaged, you're going to have to try to find new ones, and they're going to be over $1,000 each, most likely. You know, you'll be into the machine a few $1,000s just fixing that. So you want to check these machines out, and then when you ship it, the best thing to do is take the table off. And there's a couple of blocks at each end. It takes 2 guys. You remove the top piece, then 2 strong guys. Even my age, I'm strong enough to hold half of this, can lift this off. But you got, at the very least, is make some wedges, some pretty sharp angled ones out of hardwood, and drive them under the table at each end to lift this up, right? But see how much is that lifting up off the balls? 1/8 of an inch is what I see here. So that's critical if you want one of these in good shape. And this one's great. You know, it coasts, it works great. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to talk about is the workhead. And often, I'm going to swing the camera over here. I've got it on a boom. So boom along with me on this. Just I've got to turn this knob. Okay. Now, the workhead, this is an older one here. And I'm going to take, I've got a 50 taper ER40 collet chuck. And a lot of people, this is what they use. And this works real good. You know, you can get that to run true, fiddle with it, whatever you got to do, like I just did. That's a common way to present cutters or whatever to the wheel head. Now, the other deal, let me take this out and explain it. Just knock it loose. I'm going to set it over here. Okay. Out this comes. There's its drawbar stuck in there. Okay, I'll set this over here. Now, this end, let's set that there. This end here, this is an older head, and it's a brownish sharp number 12 taper. And I converted it to 5C by taking and modifying an old lathe adapter that, I don't know, it might have fit into 5 Morse taper lathe headstock. I don't know what lathe it was. It was in with a box of junk and chucks and collets. So I took that, I put it, I think I did it on another workhead. I can't remember, maybe I did it on this one. I used a solid collet shank, and I put it like that, I put it like that, and ground the OD to fit that brown and sharp taper. I then knocked it in there and then reground the 5C right in the machine. Set it up, ground the 5C, and it runs true. But the brown and sharp number 12 will make this collet, 5C collet adapter too thin once it's in place to remove and reinstall. So this is a permanent thing in this head for me. But I don't need to be grinding anything with number 12 brown and sharp. That's an obsolete, useless taper for me. So I got 5C here. That's how I did it. Hold on just a second. More coffee. Okay, so I got this, adapted Brown and Sharp number 12 to 5C collet. Just like that. 5C collets. Now, the newer head is number 5 Morse taper, which is a bit larger. So that you can more readily find a 5C adapter with the newer head. So usually with these heads, with the number 12, Brown and Sharp, they just, people usually just stick like a collet chuck in the 50 taper, okay? So you can go either way. So I made incredible gain of function. Both ends working. No, that's pretty cool because I can, you know, I can do all kinds of things, and I can stick the 50 taper arbors in here and have them run dead true. Pretty close to dead true, within, you know, 30, 40, 50 millions. Okay, now another thing. These tables, periodically, you're probably going to want to put new balls in it because new balls make it work quite a bit better. And balls are kind of a weird thing to obtain. And I wouldn't lowball that, so to speak. I would get a hold of one of the major bearing outfits. I think years ago I got these from Cayman, and there's 44 of them. And I said, I called them and I says, look, I need 100 3/4-inch balls, the most accurate ones you can get me. And the reason I did that is because that'd catch their attention. Oh, the guy wants 100 rounds. Yeah, he wants 100 of that. And I can't remember what I paid for them, but I paid quite a bit. More than if I tried to buy them on eBay or get them some kind of Jippo deal. And they were guaranteed to be about the best balls available. And there's a weird thing in bearings, high precision bearings, is there's no specification for the balls, oddly. So what you got to do is, if you have a surface plate, is put the balls on a surface plate, a V-block like that, and have like a 10th dial indicator, and just check every single ball before you change it, and you'll be a lot better off, and you'll find quite a variance in the balls. This is another way to do it with a V-angle micrometer. I just thought I'd point that out. You want the machine to perform as best as possible, and you want to follow the manufacturer's recommendation. There's no oil at all on these balls. They say if you feel like you got to do something, put powdered graphite on it, and that's how they put it. Okay, so I think I explained the workhead pretty good, what you can do. But if you got a Brown and Sharp number 12 taper, you're going to have to do what I did and custom do it, make it happen. So I got this 5C in there. I made this closer here. It's got a Timken bearing in there. It closes very, very nice. I don't know if I can get that off of my thumbnail. I could show you. Probably not. I don't know. I'll show you some other time. But I made this like my lathe closer. There's a Timken bearing in here, and it closes very smooth. So that fits into the 50 in that is now fully functional. And that screws in like that. And with the bearing on that closer, I don't have to have wrenches or anything. It'll close real tight like that. Okay, so I just got all kinds of things going with this grinder, and you can see you can do all kinds of things with it. I don't need to have a bench grinder in here for grinding tools. This thing is better than any bench grinder with a fully adjustable rest. Yeah, everything. You know, you can do hand work on it. You can use the machine for machine grinding. You can do some surface grinding. You can shape just about anything out of hard steel or carbide. Okay, I thought I'd give this gain of function talk. I'm really quite happy with what I got going here, and I'm going to just improve totally on it. I'm going to come up with a lot better tooth rest and stuff. I had was pretty crude what I was using in the past, and I've got the time to make the parts for it, and this is just a great machine. Oh, one more thing I wanted to point out is this old machine is one of the earlier ones, you know, 1940s, and I believe it's only got 1/3 horsepower, 1/2 at the best. And the newer machines have a full horse, and this one kind of has a little bit of a safety to it, like a little bench weight with the belt slabs and stuff like that. But you can still blow wheels up on it. But on more powerful grinders, you have to be quite a bit more careful because it's a lot easier to detonate a wheel. Okay, well, I've got a lot going, and it's just really nice when I could sneak out here and get a little time. I'm putting a lot of work in the house and other things, so anytime I can get out here is just great. Okay, I hope you guys are having fun in your shop and feeling good and everything. It is quite cold out again. I'm looking for a little more spring. Okay, bye-bye.